You ready to feed them chickens, Noah, Tommy? Huh? Well, as you can see, we are inside my chicken pen, chickens and ducks. We have about 30 chickens and about 10 to 12 different ducks right now. I'm going to go ahead and give you a tour. The first thing that you'll see is our compost pile. It's one of the most unique things and most important things. I have some more compost material and some corn. Now the corn here in Brazil is extremely cheap. I pay about R$1.50 per kilo. So we're talking about 50 cents a kilo. Really cheap to feed the chickens. But go ahead and look inside here. This is all compost material from the last day, except for this right here, which looks like Noah put that in. But all it is organic materials, including eggshells and different vegetable peels, coffee grounds, anything that can be worked back into the soil. And so what I do is I take it. Come on, Noah, let's feed the birds. And I take it and I dump it right up on top of here where I want it. And let's see if they go crazy. Come here, Noah. So as you can see, the birds now are eating all of the compost material. We have some different berries, some different fruits that we didn't eat, some eggshells, coffee grounds, potato skins, mango skins, even some different lettuce. And the birds will eat this in the morning. They'll help me compost this. And they sleep up here. They roost up on top of here. They're mostly on top of here. And they're pooping on here and composting it for me. And in about a couple months, you're going to see this material here turn really black and perfect compost to be used on this organic farm. This is probably one of the most important things that we have on the farm right now. As you can see in front of me, I got some four couple-week-old Muscovy ducks. These ones here are just living life, enjoying themselves. I have about 7 other adults, and if you come follow me, I'm going to show you one of my favorite things out here right now. Come on, Noah. Let's go see the mommy. There she is. Go ahead and look right in there. I don't know if you can see it, but there's a Muscovy duck that's been sitting there. She's going to start hissing at you because she's been sitting here for about 3 weeks already on top of 6 eggs. It's going to be our first babies on Buscher's farm. And a unique thing too is that chicken there is helping her keep them warm. That chicken does not have any fertile eggs under her, but they seem to be, you know, pregnant buddies. I'm not sure why, but it's a pretty unique thing, especially because of everything I've been reading. Chickens and ducks are not supposed to be friendly with each other, especially when it comes to fertile eggs. Up on top, you see eggs that are not fertile. That looks like breakfast for us. We got 2 nice eggs for breakfast already.
So as you can see, the last night it was raining a lot, so that's why it's very different here right now. But the chickens likes it because, you know, it's they love the water and they can like drink natural water here, and they love it. We can see that they love it. They prefer like this, you know. And I'm using here corn. It's normal corn. It's like 1 kilo. It's very cheap here, and they love it.
Now, some people will tell you that you can't be giving your chickens whole corn and they give you crack corn. But the problem with that is whole corn is a lot more nutritious than crack corn. And as you can see, our birds, even the ducks, they can do the whole corn. And it's much better for them, a better price even as well. If the ones that they don't want, you know, it just gets digested right through. It's not an issue at all. So if you have adult chickens or adult ducks, whole corn is perfectly fine for them. Noah, come feed the birds, buddy. Now, as you can see, we're tossing a whole kilo of corn on this ground. And it might look like a lot, but I promise you, within a couple hours, there will be no more corn on this ground. Even our ducks get into it. And as you can see, Bella does too. We'll talk about Bella in another video. She is our first goat. Say bye, Noah. Noah, Tommy. Noah, bye-bye. Bye-bye. One thing that I want to talk about real fast is the gate. Now, where I live in Brazil, we don't really have predators for the chickens. So it's not as much as about protection as it is containment for them. But what I did is I did this. I took just normal chicken wire, a little bit thicker than normal, and it's supposed to be about 1.5 meters, but as you can see, about 1/2 meter is covered under dirt. I took it and I folded it over, and I put some fresh dirt and a little bit of compost and some grass seed. That way, if anything tries to dig down, they're going to hit chicken wire hard and they're not going to be able to get in. On the inside, I had some bunch of leftover bricks and tile from a previous project from the previous owner of the farm, and so I just used that to outline it so nothing that can get out or get in on the bottom. The chicken wire goes up about 1 meter, 1.5 meters, and then you see that we have this plastic chicken wire. Now, this plastic chicken wire is basically only so nothing can fly out. Because we're raising Muscovy ducks here, Muscovy ducks are one of the few ducks that actually like to fly, and so we have to clip their wings to make sure that they can be contained easy. It doesn't hurt the bird and it doesn't damage them at all, but it helps us contain it. But we have had a few try to fly out. Our chickens and our roosters actually, they'll climb up all the way in the trees. I mean, they'll get about 15-20 meters up inside of a tree and then try to fly down. They like to roost high at night. And so we put another 1.5 meters of this plastic chicken wire fence just to help with the containment of it all the way around. If you come a little bit closer, you'll see the way that we connected these two is actually just by using some zip ties, or as they say in Brazil, cat killers. And we just connected it to nice and loosely. You can still stick your hand through there. But once again, like I said, here we don't really have predators except for some stray dogs. So we just basically have to do the bare minimum. Now, as you'll see on our farm, we try to keep everything as simple and as cheap as possible, but yet try to make it beautiful and functional because, you know, I have a wife and my wife wants everything to be beautiful. So let's go ahead and look at a few more things here on Buscher's farm. I want to take one moment and I want to tell you about this little tomato plant. Now, if you know anything about tomato plants, you will see very clearly that this tomato plant is not the most healthy. We got a little bit of damage up here. This plant, it's very significant to me though, so I want to talk about it. What happened was hey buddy, come here. You want to tell them about the plant? We were clearing out this little burn area, and the burn area had a bunch of garbage, and the farmer before, you know, he just kind of, you know, made everything really trashy, so it made a lot of work for us. But there was one plant sprouting up through all of it, and it was this tomato plant. Now, the farmer, he originally did not intend on planting anything. I assume a bird carried a tomato seed and dropped it, or someone threw a tomato down there, but this is a wild tomato plant that has already given us a lot of tomatoes, and it looks like we still got a few more on here of tomatoes. We got about 10 tomatoes on this plant yet that we can be able to harvest here in about a week or so. So it kind of just showed me that how fertile our ground is here on the farm, and that even without taking care of these plants that they'll still be producing. So I want to show you some of our other plants. Now this is the very first garden that we put in here. This is actually our cucumber garden, one of many that we'll be having in the future. I want to talk about this for a second. These are the pickle cucumbers, so they're going to be specifically used to be making pickles, because I do enjoy different types of pickles. It's about a month and a half old is all, so it's sprouting up real nice. The way that we started this was we planted it originally with some organic cow poo and with the seed, and we just made some nice 2 rows down here. And about a week and a half ago, or about a week ago actually, I went through with some composted horse manure to put right in the center to give it a little bit extra fertilization and to help with sprouting some more. If you know anything about horse manure is high in nitrogen, and it really helps make the plant really leafy really fast. I personally prefer doing a mixture of horse manure and cow manure, because the cow manure in my experience has more sustainability and it lasts longer, and it's more of a slow release, where the horse manure is an instant and a fast release. So I like to use a combination of the two without overpowering the plant itself. Now in about a month, you're going to see these plants, you see how they're already starting to get a little bit more viney. You're going to see them each week about double in size until they start climbing up over this fence that we have here. And when they start climbing up over, that's when you're going to start seeing the cucumbers. Now this specific type of cucumber plants, each of them will get about 8 to 12 inches, and that'll be the perfect size for ripening of them. If you let it hang, I'm sure it'll get a lot larger, but the taste will affect. This little simple garden here is about, I'd say about 10 meters long, and we got 2 different rows. It's going to produce us probably about 1,000 kilos of cucumbers before it's all said and done. One of the good things about having a farm here in Brazil is we are in a subtropic climate, and these plants can last me year round. Where I'm originally from Iowa, and little Noah has visited Iowa, and there you only have about 6 to 8 months maximum of growing season, where here 12 years a month I could be planting. The ground never frosts down here, it never snows. Some plants do better in certain months because certain months are hotter than other months, but it makes it really nice being able to produce crops year round. Let's go ahead and take a look at some of the other new ones we got coming up.
So these are squash. We planted here the last week, and we needed to dig down 3 meters so we could have a good layer, and we could have like good soil to plant it. So maybe in 1 more week or less, we're gonna see something happening here.
And we have 12 of these big old mounds. Noah, Tommy, come on, bud, let's go. We got 12 mounds of these squash. Okay, so here I have 6 different mounds for watermelon. One similar to what we did with the squash. We made layers. We went 3 meters deep. A layer of fertilizer, which would be horse manure, a layer of organic compost, a layer of normal soil, and we just kept going layer after layer after layer to encourage good root growth. With watermelons, they'll start out small, but then they will just spread. Each plant will probably take at least a minimum of 5 meters around. So all of this area that you can see will soon just look like a jungle of watermelons. So they take a lot of space. They need a lot of water each day because they're about 80 to 90% just water, hence the name watermelon. And it's in a nice good sun area. As you can see, I'm already sweating a little because it's really hot today, and it's already early in the morning. So let's go ahead and look at a couple other things here on the farm. Well, this is our newest project here on the farm. It's taking a lot more than what we originally planned. As you can see, I have my very first goat. Her name is Bella, which means, like beautiful or beautiful woman. She's a female goat. She's about 5 months old is all. When we first got her, she was very thin, you know, almost like sick looking, because we got her from a place, you know, that basically just sells animals and doesn't really care for them that much. But she's a very good goat. She's growing very nice. Noah really likes her. And right behind me is where the goat pen is going to be. Let's go ahead and take a look at it. Now this wood frame structure that Davi is showing my child has been taking us a very long time. I've been looking at nice cheap ways to be building a structure for my goats because, you know, we're trying to stick on a budget. So all of this wood has been harvested right from our jungle. We bought some fence piece here. This whole entire fence goes around. It's about 150 square meters. It's nice and thick. To attach it, we not only dug down deep, just like we did with the chickens, but we also took some nice thicker twine and wrapped it around nice and tight, so it's a pretty strong fence. Now this structure here, we're still trying to figure out the best way what to do with it. I'm going to be adding a lot more wood to it, and I'm also kind of toying with the idea of making it kind of like a sod mud house. I've never built one. Don't really know a whole lot about them, but it'll be a nice little interesting experiment. It's a pretty strong structure. Go ahead and shake it a little, Davi. It's nice and strong. It should be able to hold the weight of a man. This inside here will all be dug out, so it's nice and level. Now goats, they don't really need a place to sleep. What they do want, though, is a nice warm place, maybe to lay down at night, but mostly if it rains, they want to be able to stay dry. Now if you look inside of this fence, we have 150 square meters of just jungle. Now the beautiful thing about goats that we've been learning about is the majority of what they eat is everything you see right here. I've bought special food for this little goat here. I've bought corn. She does like corn, but she won't eat a whole lot. What she does like is she likes to graze. She's more of a browser than she is a grazer. Sheep graze, they'll eat just grass and stick to one little area. Where goats are more like deer that we have in the States. They just wander around trying different things. Bella, the name of my baby goat here, she will be eating all of this food. Here in a couple months you might be able to see a rapid transformation of all of this, but she'll love this area. It'll be beautiful for her. We're really excited about it. And like I said, 150 square meters. We can put a lot of goats through here. And along the outside we're going to have different gardens. So this is literally one of hundreds of banana trees that we have out on this farm. Obviously I didn't plant any of these. I really don't know a whole lot about them. I've heard several different opinions from several different people. Basically this is the heart. This is what helps pollinate the plant. These are the bananas, and we've harvested some already. They're really good. It does take a couple weeks or more to ripen once you chop it down. But if you go throughout all of this farm, you will literally see hundreds of these banana trees. So it looks like we're going to be eating bananas, you know, until the day we die. The good thing about banana trees, from what everything I've read, after they produce a banana and you eat the banana, the tree will never ever produce another banana again. So what you have to do is you have to chop it down, and then a whole nother tree comes back up and produces bananas for you. So we will always have bananas out here on Buscher's farm. Now this, actually, you're looking at it at the wrong time, but we're making this video, so why not go ahead and show you. This is what we call a lime tree. Now, as you can tell, it's very different than what you have, or that maybe you're used to. You're at the tail end of the season, okay? So this thing was full of them a few months ago, but here it is. You cut it open, and you know, I don't know the exact name of this lime or lemon, but it's pink on the inside and it is delicious. But go ahead and take a look here. We got new life coming. We got new life all the way around this bushy tree here. In a few more months, it is going to be filled with lemons or limes again. I'm pretty sure they're lemons or limes. Are they limes or lemons?
Lemons.
But in Portuguese it's limão.
Limão.
Right? So it's lime. These are limes. Now this is one of many mulberry trees. Some of them are out there in the jungle more, but here around our house, I've found at least 5 of these. This is our largest one, so I want to show you this. It's going through its ripening stage. This is the mulberry. Even right now as it is, it's very delicious. Delicious. We'll be making jellies with this. This thing is just clear full of them. Some of them are still pink, but a lot of them are already ripe and ready. One of our favorite things to do is just come out on the farm and just walk around and just eat things. We call it foraging. This behind me here is a pitanga tree. I've seen dozens of them already. We obviously haven't been able to count all of them. I'm not sure if you have them in the States, but I want you to go ahead and take a look at this. This is pitanga. It is rather delicious. You just bite into it. It's sweet. Kind of tastes almost a little bit like a tangerine, but it's rather delicious. And we have thousands of them on all of our trees. Delicious. Now I'm still here at the pitanga tree, but that's just delicious, I'll tell you what. But right next to it, we have what we call a meisha. Once again, I'm not really sure the translation of it. I'm not a big fan of it, but I'll tell you what, birds are. We have toucan birds here every single day. You always see about good 6 or 7 of them every single day. And hummingbirds, but just take a bite of it. It's a little bit more sour, but it is good. But we got a lot of these trees as well, and usually they're filled to the brim like this, all in the top and on the bottom. And like I said, toucan birds and hummingbirds and all other types of birds, they just love to sit up here and eat them all day long. I want to show you my favorite tree of all, one that you've probably never seen it before in the States. So come, let's go ahead and look at this. I'm pronouncing it wrong, but it's like Jabuticaba. How do you say it, Davi?
Jabuticaba.
Jabuticaba.
Yep.
Yeah, let's go ahead and taste this. Over here actually is an orange tree. I don't know if we got any oranges on it yet. Oh, right here. It's not the season for them, but this is an orange, obviously. And look at these baby oranges coming up. Here in a few more months, the whole entire tree will just be sprouted with these things. Great for making juices.
Another one over here.
Oh, another one, yep. Plenty of them. And we got a few different orange trees out here on this farm. Like I said, we have so many fruit trees out here that I really haven't been able to keep count of them or be able to tell you everything that is. But over 90% of every tree on this farm provides some type of fruit in one way or another. Let's go ahead and check out my favorite tree. It's next to my ugly car. It's my Dave Ramsey car. Dave Ramsey, Financial Peace University. Check it out. And here it is. Jabuticaba.
Exactly.
If you go ahead and look, you see a lot of them still are sprouting out, so it's going to take another month yet. But the fruit grows right on the bark. And it's just all over. Look it up in there. Look at all of those. They just grow all over the trees. You take it, clean it off a little bit.